Ashley, Brooklyn, and Victor suffered through the same misery as the elderly man and woman in Minnesota. And it went on from January through the summer of 2010. And the managers said it wasn't bed bugs. And this young family believed it at first.
I've been on bedbug infestations where people have been to 4 different dermatologists and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with them and had never seen a bedbug. And then you get to their home and you flip over their mattress or their box spring and it looks like the Boston Massacre. I mean, there's just thousands of bedbugs underneath and they never knew they were there.
Once Ashley did her homework and caught them, the managers confessed. They had Thomas, the maintenance man, spray a home remedy the executives knew wouldn't work. Ashley and Victor threw out their new furniture and bedding and spent their last money to furnish their Birmingham home a second time. The executives didn't lose any sleep. Ashley did. Victor did. And so did little Brooklyn.
Not wanting to come home at all. I'd have to carry her to the front door oftentimes. She'd be kicking and screaming.
When Ashley and Victor would not lay down and quietly take the abuse and nag too much, a little bit of truth actually came out about the motive for not curing the bedbug epidemic at the chateau. In addition to preying on the poor, the management didn't think most of the children deserved help or safety or a good start in life. You see, the majority of the tenants were, in the words of the manager, dirty Mexicans who brought in bed bugs and let their children live with them. Other races who were in the minority at the chateau would have to accept it too. That is not Birmingham of 2010 as we know it. It's the city and the attitude of 1950. And it reflects the hateful reputation that has dampened our city's potential for 2 generations now. They knew the immigrants couldn't go to the authorities, or they would be deported and ripped from their children and jailed. In other words, most families were trapped by a lack of a green card. And the management was telling them, "We know you're trapped too." It is not just greed, but greed fueled by racial and class bigotry. A jury's going to see that for what it is. And they will take their duty to stop it seriously. The jury will meet this little black 9-year-old boy, and they will see his wounds, and they will see his precious 3-year-old sister's welts, and they will see their mama's tears as she tells the same tale as Ashley Munrow. And a jury will barely hear the faint amens coming from the other victims in the gallery of the courtroom, but they'll hear them. In the eyes of the executives, Thomas the maintenance man used too much of the useless over-the-counter bug spray. They sent word for him to stop. And Thomas, to his immense credit, courageously confided to Ashley and Victor they had run out of options. And this family knew they had to go as the only way to keep Brooklyn safe. And when they stopped paying rent to save the money to get enough furniture and cash for deposits and expenses, their terror only intensified.
Not wanting to come home at all. I'd have to carry her to the front door oftentimes. She'd be kicking and screaming.
Now this desperate mother feared every night as she opened the door that the landlord would have taken all their belongings as a ransom for the rent it never deserved. With nowhere left to turn, Ashley went to a lawyer, and the lawyers will tell the jury that there's no place else for them to turn, and that money is the only remedy they can provide.
Is that they were torturing a little girl. That's what the problem is.